This is what I find really aggravating. My father and his new wife are so selfish that they would keep a birthday gift or a Christmas gift from their own grandson that's $360 just to make a point to their son. They'll literally try to take a gift from their own grandson just to feel superior. And I'll give you what I mean by an example of this. So, I bought a bike just to use during July and August, 2 months a year. The rest of the year I have seizures on it. It's a $360 top of the line Kulula um, Moon Rider or Moon. Oh, I can't think of it. It was on the moon. Anyways, it's probably can't see it well. But if you Google it or you look at the picture, there's not a bike you're not gonna find a bike like that at Walmart. It has white walls. Yeah, it has the cushioned spring seats, adjust, brand new brakes, no rust. The person I bought it off of, I got a great fucking deal on it. We Googled it. It was brand new with tags still on it. So when we Googled it, they wanted about $350 for the exact same bike, exact same color with white walls. The cheapest deal was rusted out used for about $250. So I asked the guy why he's selling it. Apparently he just bought this new bike for somebody else and they don't want it. So he originally gets me up to like 120. I get him down to 100. Then we pretend like we don't have 100, we only have 80. So then I go, well, I'll go back home for the other money. But then I tell my roommate, see if you can just buy it for the 80 while I go out home to grab the other 20. Because we did have more money, but we only brought 80 with us to see if this trick would work. It did. We got it for 80. Now, this is a brand new bike bought at a brand new bike shop, not Walmart, with white walls and the full perks. It also is the one that's advertised in multiple Moondog movies. You know that Moondog movie? This is the bike that he rides. It's a cruiser that's smooth and all that. But guess what? I can't use it. Even though I was hoping to use it during July and August, my kidneys are failing, my GI, the disorder that my mother and father put into me, that with the overdose and the pills and hiding the mistake and not letting me get medical care and all that. After the doctors and teachers were finally looking into it, that my mother cut off all medical care. She started to lie to my father and manipulate him as well. He wanted to be manipulated. My father, when there was a red flag right in front of him, when my mother was like, hey, this is okay. I'm allowed to do this. Yeah, he's supposed to be blind and on the ground, unconscious with his breathing very shallow. He's supposed to be like that. And just because they told me to bring him to the emergency room, they don't know what they're talking about. Then in the doctor's office, when his own son is going, hey, I lost my vision, I had this overdose, blah, 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 all these symptoms that match an overdose. It was like I lost all my senses. I couldn't see, I couldn't feel, nothing. The doctor's concerned, he's concerned, my mother is scared and white. So the doctor says, what the fuck happened? In other words, she goes, what was going on? My mother says, oh, I gave him some meds and it was just an allergy attack to the combination of meds. That's it. The doctor goes, what were those medications, by the way? Well, I don't remember, my mother says. Well, she already knows from a prior conversation over the phone that they told her that those medications cannot cause a reaction like that. But if my mother was stuffing her own medications in mine again, like she did before on Halloween, like she did on the plane, like when she tried to give me those for headache, she always had her own little pills to throw at me. If she did that, that could cause those medications to go haywire, and then I would experience an overdose, seeing as my mother had opiates and many other drugs. And I can see my mother very well not wanting to watch Batman Mr. Freeze and coming up with her own fucked up plan. When my mother didn't want to watch Mr. Freeze, drug her son. When my mother didn't want me going out trick-or-treating, drug her son. When my mother didn't want me going out trick-or-treating again, drug her son. When her son asked for a Tylenol for a headache, give him opiates. This was non-stop behavior from my mother. So anyways, last year, I package up the bike. I get a bow for it. I get a lock set. I get a small minor gift to go with the bike. A nice little wrench set that fixes the bike that actually looks really cool. It's a looks like when it's closed a butterfly knife. You remember those old comb things that were really a comb, but they looked like a knife for children? You know, they looked like a flip knife, but it was just a comb. You could get them at arcades. You know, you'd see like 10-year-olds walking around with these things that looked like knives, but they were just a comb. Well, I got my nephew one of those because I remember when I was 12 years old, one of my favorite things to get at these arcades when I was out in the programs or out with my family or whatever was these combs. So I found a bike tool for my nephew that happened to look like, when it's closed, a butterfly knife. But then when you open it, it's just a bike wrench. It has no blades, nothing. It doesn't look like a knife at all when you open it. But while it's closed, it looks like it might open to a knife. And children, maybe at 16 years old, you're on your bike and your wheel pops off. You pull this thing out, you flip it open, and it makes you look all cool. You know what I mean? You're fixing your bike with a cool tool. So I said, oh yeah, this is perfect. And then I made sure I had a backup gift for his sister. So I had this all planned. I can't ride my bike. It's been years now. I'm not going to ever be able to ride it again. I'll be thrown out of my house before I can ride it again. So I send pictures. I let them know. I got all Javier's gifts ready to go. You can be pick. All you need to do is throw them in the trunk. It's bowed, ready to go. Just give it to him for his birthday. Say this is from his uncle. I don't have to show up. I don't have to be there. If you want me to be there, I will be. I don't care. But I haven't forgotten his birthday. He has a gift from his uncle. You know what his grandparents do? They leave the gift and decide, just to punish me, their son, they're not going to give their grandson the gift. Yeah, this is their plan. Hurt their grandson by taking away something that might help his future, might help him get girls, might help him look cool, might help him get around, might help him get to a job. You're going to buy him the bike, right? You'll go to Walmart and pick up a $170 bike and he'll be happy. That's fine. But what is he going to think when he hears that there was a gift waiting for him for years and it was his grandparents that wouldn't allow the gift to be given? I don't think he's going to be very happy when he finds that out. When Javier finds out and Gabriel finds out that they had birthday gifts that only had to be driven by and picked up because their uncle was made too crippled by their grandmother, and that all that their uncle said is to pick up their birthday gifts and drop them off. That's it, just pick them up, drive by. It's only 10-15 minute drive. Just swing by, pick them up, drop them off with your grandson. Now he has a bike. He remembers that his uncle cares about him. But instead, the grandparents want to make up these fantasies, making out their son to be some crazy lunatic that doesn't care about anybody. So the gifts get left. Nobody tells the grandson that their uncle has gifts for them. They just keep it all a secret, hurting their grandson and hurting their son in the process. So they rather try to hurt their son and hurt their grandson with these choices than just swing by and pick up their grandson's gift. You know how fucked up it is to try to steal your grandson's gift like that? Your grandson has a gift coming to him, a $350 gift. It's very nice. It might help him out in the future. It might help him get girls. It might do a lot of things for him. It might even be the best bike he ever has. It might be better than the Walmart bikes. It might be better than any bike. Maybe his father got him a better bike and that one breaks down and now he has no way to get to the girl. You never know what could happen. But what we do know happened is that his uncle got him a bunch of birthday gifts that might make him very happy, and then his grandparents decided to hide his birthday gift from him, lie to him, and tell him that there is no more birthday gifts for him, and then try to hurt their own son by making him just look at the birthday gift in the corner for years. This is how my father and his wives think. Oh yeah, we're not going to pick up our grandson's birthday gift from our son. No, our grandson can go without the birthday gift and our son can stare at it. Yeah, that's the way we're going to handle this. Yeah, we're not going to pick up my grandson's birthday gift. Fuck that. So, then the grandson goes without his birthday gifts, and then the son just stares at a birthday gift and wondering if he should sell it or not. Meanwhile, it's just a bunch of junkies around here that I wouldn't want to sell a bike to. I just want to give it away. I'll probably get 20 bucks out of one of these junkies. Plus, I can't carry it on the bus in my condition. I can't get it down the flight of stairs. I can maybe do that once for my nephew to get it into a car. But other than that, I am not really capable. I mean, I could have my roommate and a bunch of people get that thing outside with helping me before they come to pick it up. Call a couple friends, hey, help me bring this bike downstairs. They help me bring it downstairs. They pick it up. Boom, done. But no, they don't care about their grandson enough to come and pick up his $350 birthday gift. They rather try to make sure that their grandson goes without the birthday gift just to teach a lesson to their son, what is a fucked up, made up fantasy lesson. They think that they know what's going on when they won't even ask follow up questions. They won't even drive to get records. And when I asked my father, what were my medications and my doctor's names? I need them because I'm going to Texas. I'm going to Westward. I'm going to be going everywhere to track down these doctors' files for Social Security and to try to get my illness taken care of. And they were talking a lot about this in Westward. They were, there's a lot of records out there. So what are these doctors' names from childhood? Oh, I don't know. The only one I remember is the ones that we lied to and that were psychiatrists. No, I don't want the psychiatrist. I want the physical therapist. I want the PCPs. I want all the doctors that are real doctors. I don't need to speak to people who were manipulated by my mother. I already know what she said to the psychiatrist. My son is a liar. He's psychotic. He has attachment disorder. This swimming medal is him trying to hurt me. Oh, this swimming medal means he needs more medications. I want him on Zyprexa. I want him on Thorazine. I want him on Seroquel. I want him on more Ritalin. I want him on more meds. I want him on more meds. He's schizophrenic. He's bipolar. He's depressed. He's bipolar. He's depressed. He's schizophrenic. I want more meds. I already heard all that from my mother at the psych meetings. I already heard my mother spill made-up stories over and over, and no matter how many times I cried, no matter how many times I asked my mother to stop making up lies, blaming me for her own drinking, telling stories, even when I bluffed her and it was very obvious my mother was lying. Yes, she lied in front of my worker and my father. I said, no, I'm telling the truth. She's lying. She's saying, no, Zach's telling the truth. I'm not lying. And we're both saying we're telling the truth. Now, she's the real one lying, but we're at a standstill. She's saying I'm a liar. I'm saying she's a liar. I'm saying I'm telling the truth. She's saying she's telling the truth. There's my father. There's the worker, and everybody's confused. It's a standstill. So I break the tension and I get the standstill. I pull out my phone and I say the words, I have a video on here of that day. I will play it and that will be our tiebreaker. That will tell the truth. This is a video of that exact moment that we're arguing about, and it's on here, and I'll just play it and this argument will be over. Now, I really was bluffing. I had no video of the day. Now, why was I bluffing about a recording being on my phone of that day? Well, we're at a standstill. My mother is saying that she's telling the truth. I'm saying I'm telling the truth. Well, there's a good way to tell this. When you have one person saying that a baby is theirs, and you have another person that says a baby is theirs, why not have them cut the baby in half? The one that says no, they don't want the baby cut in half, is the real mother. So, I did the same thing. I pulled out my phone, said I had a day. Whoever wants the recording played, or whoever is willing to let the recording be played, is telling the truth. But if anybody tries to cover up, break the recording, or not allow the recording to be played, they're the ones who are lying. because that would prove them innocent. Right there, the argument would be over. We would know that I'm the liar. It would be all clear. But I'm telling the truth. So my mother goes off the nut rail. No, you don't dare play that. No, 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 I will break that phone. No, you don't dare play that. How dare you record me? How dare you play that proof in front of me? How dare you try to play the truth? How dare you? I'm lying over here, and you got a recording of me lying? How dare you prove that I'm a fucking liar? No, you are not allowed to play that recording. No, you're not. I don't care how much proof you have. You are not playing my voice and now me lying, and you're not gonna embarrass me this way. No, Zach, you're not playing it. Then my father goes, yeah, I'm gonna back my wife on this one. Then the DMH worker goes, well, Zach shouldn't have recorded, but why shouldn't we listen to it? My mother goes, no, 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 that's it. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. She gets very upset, and the meeting just ends. And then we never get to listen to no recording. My mother bans it, starts going wild over there, gets very upset. So it's very clear my mother was the liar. If she was telling the truth, she would say, oh yeah, play it. I don't want you recording me. You're in trouble for recording me, but play the recording so we can hear you're a liar, Zach. Let's play the recording so we can hear what happened, because I know, Zach, you're a liar. But instead, my mother panicked and did not want the recording to be played. She said over and over, don't play the recording. I don't allow you to play the recording. She even said if I tried, she'd break the phone. It was very clear that she was the one lying, and she thought that she was just about to get caught lying in front of her husband because I had a recording. Because if I started recording my mother, oh boy, would she go to jail. Oh boy, she was doing crazy shit, lying, manipulating, drugging, doing so much crazy shit that if I was recording my mother, she would have gone to jail. And my mother knew that she was lying in this group. I knew she was lying in this group because I was there. She's always doing this shit. So when I pulled out a phone, said I had a recording of her, she flipped her lid. She thought that she was, oh no, I cannot let Zach play that because then my husband will know I'm lying all the time. So I cannot let Zach play that. So I'm going to say he can't play it. I'm going to say he can't play it. I'm going to say it's just because I don't like him recording me. I don't, no. Whatever stops her from being found out. But it's the same symptom. If you got two people saying the child is theirs, two mothers say a child is theirs. A king says, I'm going to give you this sword. You cut your child in half, and each of you can keep half of the child. One mother says, sure, start cutting. And then another mother says, no, let her keep the child. Then the king goes, you must be the real mother, because any mother willing to cut their child in half must not be the real mother, and you were willing to give your child up to save his life. So you must be the real mother. So you take your child home while we execute this bitch for lying. Well, I did the same thing to my mother. She said she was telling the truth. I said I was telling the truth. We were at a standstill. There was DMH workers and my father. So what did I do? I just threw something out there to see who's lying. I put a recording out there that wasn't really a recording. I said, here's a recording. If my mother's telling the truth, let's play it. And then my mother can say, see, my son's a lying piece of shit. But if I'm telling the truth and I play it, then I get to say, look, my mother's a lying piece of shit. So, let's play it. My mother was so fucking upset. She went straight to it. She would never, ever allow a recording of her lying or manipulating, or if I took a video of her smacking me around, or she would just lie. If I told somebody that she took the sharp edge of the ruler and left that mark on my face, because I had that mark only for like, I don't know, a day. I woke up with the mark a little bit pink in the morning. But anyways, so if I showed that mark, or if I showed a video, you know what my mother would say? I never did any such thing. I don't remember that. That never happened. I don't drink alcohol like that. I don't pick up rulers and smack my kid. I don't lie. I'm the most truthful angel on this earth. Meanwhile, she's lying and trying to manipulate about $2,000 pocketbooks. She's lying about an overdose. She's lying about her not remembering meds. She's lying to the doctors. She's lying to her son. She's lying to her husband. She's lying to her family. She's lying to her other son. She's lying to her grandson. She's hurting her son. She's giving him extra epicac as punishments, doing crazy things. Meanwhile, I'm the one that has to live the rest of my life in pain to this wife of my father's. And now, at the age of 31, after 25 years, after my mother died at her own hand because she was drinking and pilling herself to death, because the guilt was getting to her, she was acting crazy with pills, and my father never wanted to step in to help her or me. She died, and now I get to die. I get to be in pain for the rest of my life. And my father's over there on cruises, partying. He remarried some side piece that was in the family, and now he's just moved right on. Now, you might be thinking, well, if you had all that time with just you and your father, well, then you should have been moving on then, right? No, I couldn't move in. My father remarried while my mother was still hot in the grave. I mean, literally, he was dating right out the funeral. I mean, he was still doing paperwork for the funeral on the table. There was still paperwork to do with my mother's insurance and things while he was dating another woman. So my mother isn't quite finished with. My shit with my mother isn't quite finished with. The whole family needs to talk to my father, and he just runs off with a new side piece. So, I've been bringing this up to him over and over. I've made the decision that I'm going to treat others how they want to be treated, but also how they treat me. So I'm going to think that everybody goes by that rule. Now, I know for a fact that that rule was said by my father. My father said to treat other people how you want to be treated. So maybe I just have a mistake here. Maybe my father wants me to treat him like they treated me. Maybe that's all this is. See, I've been treating my father, like a loved one, giving him respect, honesty, love. When he got into trouble with the Social Security Administration, and I could have got 12 grand off of him. He did something really shitty. All I had to do was sign on the dotted line and show up for court. But instead, I acted like a loving family member. I supported my father I supported his new marriage. I supported him in all his decisions. And you know what my father does? He comes up with more stories and tries to dodge more. He uses that same bullshit when my mother was stealing child's medals. Yes, my mother went around stealing a little tiny orphan's medal. This orphan came into my mother's room, pulled out a swimming medal with his name on it, and said, "Look, look, I got this in the orphanage for treading water. It's my swimming medal." And you know what my mother did? She slapped that swimming medal right out of that kid's hand. Started screaming at that 5-year-old, 7-year-old. Started saying that this 5-year-old is a liar, that this 5-year-old is a thief, that this medal must belong to an African American kid. No, you're not athletic enough to get a swimming medal. No, this must belong to the African American. Yes, this can't be yours. You're a liar and you're a thief. And look at this. You're putting your old last name, ZG, on it. So you must be having to hurt me too, huh? Huh, Zach? You're trying to hurt me, aren't you? Huh, Zach? Huh, you little 5-year-old brat? Huh, you're trying to write your old name just to get back at me, aren't you? I'm going to bring this to the doctors. You need more medicine. Yes, you need more medicine. Yeah, I'm bringing. Yes, doctor. Yeah, my son has attachment disorder. He's lying. He's stealing. He's doing all this type of stuff. I got a swimming medal as proof. He wrote his name on. I don't know why the hell he's writing his old name on my other kids' medals, but he's taking African Americans' medals and putting his name on it. Yeah, we need more medicine for him. We're not quite sure what the fuck is going on. Yeah, you stole this medal. Yes, you did. How dare you cry about stealing a medal? I didn't steal it, the kid cries. I didn't steal it. I won it in the orphanage. I won it in the swim class. I treaded water. That's it. I was in the orphanage and they wrote my name on it. My name was ZG. That's what the staff wrote. I didn't put it. They did. I don't care. You're in trouble for that. You go to your room. That's how my mother acted. You know, this is how their excuse is. When my mother and father are doing something wrong, like trying to run away from crippling their child, or stealing their child's medal, or crippling a child, or lying to doctors, whenever they're about to get caught for this, they always got the same way out. It's a fantasy. He's lying. He's a thief. Don't do it. Don't help him. He's fantasizing. He's a liar. He's a thief. Don't help him. He's a liar. He's fantasizing. He's a thief. Let's move him to Texas, honey. Yeah. Let's move him to El Paso, Texas. Okay. He's a liar. He's a thief. He's fantasizing. Now let's move him to New Mexico. He's a liar. He's a thief. He's fantasizing. Let's move him to Maine. He's a fantasizer. He's a thief. Now let's move him to Mass. I've heard this my whole life with every true event. Meanwhile, I'm tucking my drunken father on in a couch in Maine. I'm trying to learn how to play with my father. I'm trying to love my mother. I'm coming home. I forgave them for having a black man choke me out in New Mexico while I got food poisoning and I went without 18 months of education. Meanwhile, my father tries to sue them, gets money, and then still does not allow me to get an education. Yes, he's more interested in going to Maine to sell some properties and make some money. Meanwhile, his kid is missing 2.5 years of education, and now he's going to add in 6 more months. So my father adds in 6 more months of me having no education while he sells some houses, then moves me to Mass, where we still have to reevaluate my education now, and I'm missing 3 years. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on, so my mother just calls me retarded. Yes, my mother and father start saying, he's a liar, he's a thief, he's fantasizing, and he's retarded. He's a liar, he's a thief, he's fantasizing, and he's retarded. He's a liar, he's a thief, he's fantasizing, and he's retarded. And so, of course, they're getting Social Security. They're making me out to be retarded, slow, all these things, leaving out the information that I'm missing 3 years of education. Also, I redoed first grade, and in Texas, they had to spend a whole year reevaluating my level, all these type of things. Meanwhile, I'm also having a neurological disorder that isn't being treated. I can't move my body properly, and people knew this. In Westford, they talked to my mother about it. That's why she wanted to move to Texas so bad. Because I was in physical therapy for her actions. I was in speech therapy for her actions. Teachers were calling me in to the out of the classroom into the hallway to ask me if there was any changes at home, because it seems like my body is working different. All of a sudden, my speech seems different and my movements seem different, even when I write my name. She asked if anything has changed recently at home. At the time, I say I don't know because I'm only 7 years old. But the more I think about this question, the more I think about it, I realize it's the overdose that changed. My mother gave me some pills and I woke up with a change. I don't know what to call this change. So I start calling it the symptoms, individual symptoms. I lost my vision. I couldn't see. I couldn't feel. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't talk. Like that. And I passed out unconscious, and my mother refused to bring me to an ambulance after they told her to do so. The doctors wanted to know about this as well. They asked my mother as well, what happened that night? My mother says, well, I gave him some medication, and it was just an allergy attack. No reason to look any more into this. Then she suddenly moves me to Texas, even though my father doesn't want to go. I'm only 7, and I'm giving a yes, no, maybe, yes, no, maybe. But my mother wants to convince me to stick to yes, and she wants to convince my father to go as well. So my mother is convincing a 7-year-old to go to Texas, and as soon as she does that, she's going to convince the husband to go to Texas, drop all medical care, drop all files, and cover up everything that was happening in Westford. All that, gone. But she continued her behavior.